Hi there, welcome to the Healing Nest. And the last time we spoke about my story for those that are still, keeping up to date and up to date. And so I decided, why not talk about recovery afterwards, because that's what comes after such experiences. And I'm also trying to make it as broad as possible, but at the same time as precise and short as possible. So let's get into it. Recovery, as I'm learning, right, is a journey. It is a process. It is progressive. It is quite holistic. It includes and involves mind, body, spirit. It takes all this because it takes all of you to focus on that process, in that process, and able to come out of it a stronger version of yourself. Now, the thing about it though is that after such experiences, you would be taken to a place where you feel as though, your former self, you have to let go of your former self, so it feels foreign and overwhelming and scary, and it just shatters your entire world because now it's a do-over, and that's oftentimes very scary, and some break and are unable to ever recover and just become shadows of themselves. But recovery, as I've come to embrace it, is a refining process. It's one which is supposed to birth a greater version of us. Like, for instance, butterflies. Imagine, maybe we're so used to seeing these other creatures, seeing these other animals and whatnot. We're used to seeing them living their own cycles and it's looking normal. But I believe they are also abnormal animals, ones who do not do what they're meant to do. But we often just generally see it as, okay, they're doing what they need to do. So for the caterpillar, for instance, you would see it going about just eating until it's time to enter a cocoon, and then a butterfly emerges. But let's look at it like closer, let's inspect it. It cannot be comfortable for you to go out from something that's always moving to now expecting to stay put and stagnant and even be confined and then emerge. A death takes place, and if not careful, you might not be able to come out of that cocoon phase into that butterfly phase. So sadly, it's like that for us humans too. Also, using another example, let's say I'm an athlete, and then I go pro with basketball, and then I get it here. That will alter my entire destiny, like my life. I've come to believe that, okay, finally I'm a pro now, I'm doing this thing, it's my entire life, but then it's taken away from me because of an accident. And sadly, for some, regardless of physiotherapy and all of that, they still do not recover from it, sadly. Whereas some are able to. And for those that do get to recover, they come out better, stronger, with a better mindset, that winner mentality, that I'm never going to stay down mentality. And when they get back on court or on the pitch, they come back like a better teammate. They come back more compassionate, more like, it's like now there's this awareness because there was an intentionality into growth. Right? So one thing I'm seeing and learning is that recovery is actually such a beautiful but yet painful refining process, because it is teaching one that in as much as there's losing the older version of yourself, it is not a death sentence to remaining ideal or feeling useless in the moment and feeling like just because I've lost that version of myself, now I'm clueless, who am I, no identity. No. It shows that it is time to become better and outdo your former self. It is time to come into the higher version of yourself, which was supposed to happen regardless because of progress, right? And that's what I'm learning, because now I would say this experience having to do with my mind had me have to sit back down and think on the thoughts I've been allowing myself think on. And if the discovery was quite shocking, scary, and alarming, because for how many years now have I been allowing just random thoughts enter my mind? Because I was such a daydreamer, and I love imagining and painting scenarios instead of living in the present. So it's like finally now, because of such a painful and harsh experience, forced to see my mind on a screen and then judge what I've been saying. So for someone that has been believing I've been, or let's say I've been expecting flowers out of, my garden, but in reality, because of not being intentional or actively caring about what I've been planting, what has been growing actually has been weeds, right? But then there I was expecting flowers, forgetting that truly as a man thinketh, so is he. So this whole process has been teaching me to be patient, to be graceful, because out of everything else, you have to be loving towards yourself and compassionate. Because like I said, if it's pain, if it's a loss, then it is not easy. And some other person that maybe have not experienced such a loss or pain will not be able to relate per se. And so just because they can't relate, there's now that trigger or, feeling the need to be like, you know what, shut up. You can't relate, you don't understand, so shut up, get out, you can't advise me. But really, we shouldn't be all defensive all the time. But instead, if there's something I need to be learning from what is being said, I should do just that and improve on myself. All the while, being kind to myself, being honest, because you have to be real with yourself. Some things are quite unrealistic, and in this process, you have to be real to be able to recover. And now when I'm saying recovery, it goes beyond mental recovery, physical recovery. It can be in that field that you're in. Maybe you lost a property this week or some huge amount of money this week, and you're feeling like you're hopeless, you're stuck, there's no coming out of this, and then you really remain stagnant, nothing works again, and you blame it on that one experience. But I'm here to tell you, if it's doable in this manner, then recovery is possible in all spheres and aspects of our life. So it's possible for you to recover all that you've lost. And the beautiful thing about recovery is that if you're able to recover something, it shows a form of mastery. It shows that you've been able to master an act that maybe in the past was really by chance, because you really weren't actively seeing, okay, what has been working for my business? What is it that has been making me able to stay committed to working out? But now, because of a painful or harsh experience, you are more aware to the principles you're applying into your life, the system that is working. And I think that's a mistake we often make too. We magnify goals instead of thinking, yes, put your goals in place, but then forget about the goal and start thinking about the system that would lead to achieving that goal. Because the system is your day-to-day. What is it? What are you doing to get to that goal? That is truly what matters, and that is progress, and that is process. And that also, for people that have lost something or are suffering from something, that process too, I'm here to tell you, is recovery. So if there's anything that is hurting you, anything you've lost, anything you're trying to get back, I'm here to tell you that even though it might not take it back to its original state or take you back to that original position, it doesn't mean that you're broken, or it doesn't mean that you're doing far less than you were doing before, achieving before, but instead see it as evolvement. So there's this Chinese artwork, I can't remember the name right now, but it's this thing they do, like when a ceramic breaks, instead of throwing it away, they put it together using gold. And gold is expensive, so when you think about it, it's really adding value to something, which technically, if you're going to go market that, is going to it's going to be far more valuable than the previous piece. So do not see that shattering or that loss as, declining value, but look at the ways where you'll be able to refine that and turn it into something more valuable, something more important, something that the world will not be able to do without. And that's when you get there, now you see that now success for you becomes like linear, like it continues growing and just evolving, because now there's mastery in place. So That's all I want to share with us all today. And like I said, and I'm still saying, if there's anything you'd want to share, your personal experience or story or whatever, you can share in our email and we'll keep you anonymous. And then also, if you have questions that maybe something has been running in your mind and you want to get clarity on, you could ask that too. Or really just comments or whatever it is welcome. Not whatever it is, it has to be meaningful, but yes, it is welcome in our email. So I hope to receive as many emails as possible, and also stay tuned for next time. Bye. See you next time on the Healing Nest. You confirm?